Doctor Who Story by Story. Attack of the Cybermen Review. Just the facts. Attack of the Cybermen is the name of a two-part Doctor Who story broadcast from the 5th to the 12th of January 1985 as the first story of the series' 22nd season. It starred Colin Baker in his first full season as the Sixth Doctor, having already appeared in full in the previous season's closing story, The Twin Dilemma, and Nicola Bryant as his companion Pupugilliam Brown, simply known as Berry. The serial was credited as having been written by Paula Moore and was directed by Matthew Robinson, who had directed the previous season's massively popular Resurrection of the Daleks. The serial was produced by John Nathan Turner in his fifth season and script edited by Eric Saward. Incidental music was composed by Malcolm Clarke, whose work on the series included the previous season 19 Peter Davison Cyberman story Earthshock and stretched back to the 70s with serials such as John Pertwee's The Sea Devils. Plot. Answering an alien distress call originating from Earth in 1985, the Doctor and Peri stumble into the middle of a plot by the Cybermen to change history and prevent the destruction of their home planet Munders in 1986. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of Lytton, a mercenary who appears to be working for the Cybermen but whose true motives are considerably murkier. Guest cast. Attack of the Cybermen features a very impressive guest cast. Maurice Colborne, who appeared in Resurrection of the Daleks the previous year, and appeared in TV series such as Gangsters, The Aeneid Line, Day of the Triffids and Howard's Way, reprises his role as Lytton, as does David Banks as the Cyber Leader, having played the part in both Earthshock and the 1983 20th anniversary special The Five Doctors. Michael Kilgariff, who plays the Cyber Controller, played the same role in the 1967 Second Doctor story The Tomb of the Cybermen. Terry Molloy plays undercover cop Russell, being best known to Who fans as the third actor to play the evil Dalek creator Davros, a role he played throughout the 1980s including later in this season in Revelation of the Daleks. Playing Lytton's sidekick Griffiths is legendary Yorkshire actor Brian Glover, who appeared in a wide range of television series and movies including opposite Fifth Doctor Peter Davison in Campion, Alien 3, An American Werewolf in London and became synonymous with the Tetley TV advertisements thanks to his distinctive voice. Michael Atwell, who plays Bates, previously appeared as an Ice Warrior in the 1967 Second Doctor story The Ice Warriors, but is probably most famous as Kenny Beale in soap opera EastEnders. Playing Varn and Flast, two of the alien Gryans under heavy makeup, are BBC presenter Sarah Green and actress and comedienne Faith Brown, most famous for the ITV Impressions show Who Do You Do? Trivia. Attack of the Cybermen was the first serial to be produced in 45-minute episodes, a format that would be used in the classic series only in this season. Although the story is credited to writer Paula Moore, rumors persisted for many years that the story was actually written by script editor Eric Saward and unofficial continuity consultant Ian Levine, a record producer and superfan. In the mid-1990s, producer John Nathan Turner said that he had met Moore at the production office, so if the rumors were true he had no knowledge of it. Eventually Saward admitted to having written the script, with some contributions from Levine. Eric Saward once noted that had he known that Brian Glover would be cast as Griffiths, and give such a fine performance, he would have given the character even more to do. This story sees the TARDIS change shape from its traditional police box exterior a number of times as the Doctor attempts to fix the chameleon circuit. Although JNT used the possible loss of the police box to drum up publicity in the media, there was never any intention of permanently losing the iconic outer shell of the TARDIS. The serial was novelized by Eric Saward in 1988, with an abridged audiobook read by Colin Baker released in 1995 by BBC Audio. The story was released on video in 2000 in a box set with the first Doctor Regeneration story The 10th Planet, although the stories were released individually overseas, and on DVD in 2009. Attack was also included in issue 82 of the Doctor Who DVD Files magazine in 2012. Reaction. Although the serial did well on initial broadcast, scoring just under 9 million for Part 1 and over 7 million for Part 2, Attack of the Cybermen is a massively unpopular story with Doctor Who fans. The story was slammed for its violence as well as criticized for the heavy use of continuity, alleging that the storyline would be too difficult to follow for the casual audience, and Clarke's music come in for heavy criticism. The story regularly features in the bottom of fan polls. What I think? Well, this is a big one, folks. While I am never shy of being a contrary bastard, rarely has the received wisdom of the sheep-like Doctor Who fandom and my own opinions been quite so polar opposite as with this one. I first saw this story in 1988. It was the first Colin Baker story I saw as a fan, and one of the first pre-McCoy stories as well, and I was already indoctrinated enough by fandom to know that Colin was crap and so was his era. I was thus completely stunned by my first viewing of Attack of the Cybermen to find a well-written, well-directed, superbly acted slice of action-packed science fiction thrills, and to find Colin a wonderful, hilariously bitchy and deliciously capable Doctor, one not afraid to either tell people exactly what he thought of them or to get his hands dirty. This story has some of the best dialogue of the 80s and one of the greatest guest casts, with Maurice Colborne, Brian Glover and Michael Attwell in particular giving terrific performances throughout. Clarke's music is also highly distinctive and hugely enjoyable. I loved this dark, gritty and thrilling story 30 years ago and I have always enjoyed it every time I have seen it since, including the most recent just 2 weeks ago, which saw it again rise to become my favorite Sixth Doctor story and definitely in my top 20. Quite frankly, I don't give a flying car filled with fucks what the professional elitist fanboy brigade think of this story. I fucking love Attack of the Cybermen. It is an underrated, underappreciated masterpiece way too good for the likes of them. I was going to be hesitant and just give it an A, but fuck it, I'm going all the way with a full-on fuck you, A+.